Hey guys, today I am wearing a vocab word. Do you remember what it's called? If you can't see my face, I'm wearing a disguise. Good job, vocab word. Awesome job. Just checking to see if you remembered that word. Today we're going to read a new story, and it's called Medio Polito, and that means the little half chick. So, today your new vocab word is waste. Have you ever heard the word waste before? You may have heard this word at home. It says, if you waste something, you use it carelessly or foolishly. So, if you waste something, you are not using it. So, have you ever poured a really big glass of chocolate milk and you only drank like this much and then you just didn't want the rest, so you poured it out, or mom and dad helped you pour it out in the sink and they said, you just wasted all that chocolate milk. That means that you didn't drink it all and you wasted it. Now, do you think it's good to waste things? No, it's not. Sometimes it's not good to waste things. We don't ever want to waste food or things that are important to us. We don't want to waste things. So listen for waste in the story, and when you hear it, I want you to put up your V for vocab. All right, here we go.
Today, you will hear a story called The Little Half Chick, Medio Polito. Listen carefully and be able to tell the moral of the story. Do you know what is in this picture? This is an instrument called a weather vane. You often see these on top of buildings, particularly on farms. Have you ever seen a weather vane? Do you know why we might use a weather vane? Weather vanes help tell us which way the wind is blowing. This is a little chick or baby chicken named Medio Polito. Medio Polito is Spanish for little half chick. This folktale may have first been told in the country of Spain. Once there was a hen who had a large brood or family of little chicks. They were all fine, plump little birds, except the youngest. He was quite unlike his brothers and sisters. He looked as if he had been cut right in half. All of his brothers and sisters had 2 wings and 2 legs and 2 eyes, but he had only 1 wing, 1 leg, and 1 eye. And he had only half a head and half a beak. His mother shook her head sadly as she looked at him. Poor thing, she said. He is only a half chick. The mother hen called her youngest chick Medio Polito, which is Spanish for half chick. So why is he called Medio Polito or little half chick? She thought that he would never be able to take care of himself. She decided that she would have to keep him at home and look after him. But Medio Polito had a different idea. Medio Polito turned out to be a very stubborn and independent little chick. Stubborn means that he would not change how he did things. Even though his brothers and sisters did just what they were told to do, Medio Polito did not. When his mother called for him to come back to the chicken house, he hid in the cornfield. Sometimes he pretended that he could not hear her because, of course, he had only 1 ear. The older he became, the more willful he became. He would not listen to his mother, and he was often rude to his brothers and sisters, even though they were always extra nice to him. So, is he a very kind or nice little chick? One day, Medio Polito strutted up to his mother and made an announcement. I am tired of life in this dull barnyard. I am going to Madrid to dine or have dinner with the king. Madrid is a city in Spain. Do you think this is a good idea? Madrid! Exclaimed his mother. Why, that is a long journey, even for a grown-up. You aren't old enough to go to Madrid yet. Wait a bit. When you're a little older, we will go to the city together. But Medio Polito had made up his mind. He would not listen to his mother or to his brothers and sisters, all of whom pleaded with him to stay. "I am going to Madrid to dine with the king," he declared. "And when I get there, I will make my fortune and live in a big house. Perhaps I will even invite the rest of you to pay me a short visit sometime." Here, the rest of you refers to the others. Rest also means to stop doing work or an activity. With that, he turned and hopped off on his one leg. His mother ran after him and called out, "Be sure to be kind to everyone you meet." But Medio Polito did not listen. He was in a hurry and, as usual, was thinking only of himself. Medio Polito hopped on until he came to a little stream of water that was almost choked with weeds. A stream is a small body of running water. When a stream is full of weeds, it is very hard for the water to move. "Oh, Medio Polito," the stream called out, "please help me by pulling some of these weeds so I can flow freely." Do you think Medio Polito will help the stream? Why or why not? "Help you!" exclaimed Medio Polito, tossing his head and shaking the few feathers in his tail. "Do you think I have time to waste to do that sort of thing?" Waste means to use up something carelessly and foolishly. Medio Polito does not want to waste or use up his time helping the stream. "Help yourself and don't bother busy travelers like me. I am off to Madrid to dine with the king." And away he hopped. So, does Medio Polito help the stream? Why not? A little later, Medio Polito came to an abandoned fire that some campers left burning in the woods. Abandoned means left behind. "Oh, Medio Polito," the fire said, "please toss some sticks on me so I won't burn out." Who does Medio Polito meet after the water? What does the fire ask Medio Polito to do? "Pooh," said Medio Polito. "Do you think I have time to waste to do that sort of thing? I am off to Madrid to dine with the king." And away he hopped. Does he help the fire? Why not? The next morning, as he was nearing Madrid, Medio Polito came upon a large chestnut tree in which the wind had got entangled up. "Oh, Medio Polito," said the wind, "won't you climb up here and help me get myself untangled?" Who does he meet after the water and the fire? Do you think he will help the wind? Why or why not? "It's your own fault for going up so high there," said Medio Polito. "And besides, I don't have time to waste to do that sort of thing. I'm off to Madrid to dine with the king." And away he hopped. When he entered the city, Medio Polito saw the beautiful royal palace. He was so excited to meet the king, he hopped right into the courtyard without hesitation. The king's cook spotted him and yelled, "You will make a nice addition to the king's dinner." Is the cook inviting him to dine or have dinner with the king? The cook scooped up Medio Polito in his hand. He took him back to the kitchen and tossed him into a pot of water. What do you think the cook is making? Then he set the pot on the stove. Medio Polito was getting very wet. "Oh, water!" he cried. "Don't soak me like this." But the water replied, "You would not help me when I was a little stream choking with weeds, so why should I help you now?" Who does Medio Polito ask for help? Does the water help? Why not? Then the fire on the stove began to heat the water. Medio Polito felt very hot. "Oh, fire!" he cried. "Don't cook me like this." But the fire replied, "You would not help me when I was about to burn out, so why should I help you now?" Who does Medio Polito ask for help next? Does the fire help? Why not? The fire got hotter and hotter. The heat was so unbearable that Medio Polito grew more and more desperate to escape. Desperate means to lose hope. Just then, the cook raised the lid of the pot to see if the soup was ready. "What's this?" said the cook. "I have overcooked the chicken. He is all blackened and burnt to a crisp. I can't serve this to the king." The cook grabbed Medio Polito and threw him out in the kitchen window. With a gust, the wind caught him and carried him away so fast he could hardly breathe. Does Medio Polito have dinner with the king? "Oh, wind!" Medio Polito cried. "Don't push me around like this. Please, set me down." But the wind replied, "You would not help me when I was caught in the tree, so why should I help you now?" Who does Medio Polito ask for help? Does the wind help? Why not? And with that, the wind lifted Medio Polito up in the air to the top of a building and left him stuck atop the cupola. A cupola is a small domed structure on the highest point of a building. And that is where you can find Medio Polito to this very day. If you go to Madrid and look for the tallest church in town, you will see a black leather vane in the shape of a chicken turning in the wind. That is Medio Polito, the chick who would not help others. Now he stays there and helps everyone by showing them which way the wind is blowing forever. How does Medio Polito show that he is sorry for not helping others when they needed his help? Moral: you should help others because one day you may need their help.
All right, guys, that was a wonderful story. One of my favorite stories and such a good moral. You should always help others when you can because one day you might need somebody else's help. So that's the lesson we learned from that story. Everybody say, "The moral is the lesson I learned." Good job, guys.